Hello, Divine Feminines. Let's ask today, what is he thinking of you? What is he thinking about you currently? Is he thinking of you? We already know he is, but let's ask. Let's see what you guys are coming up as in the energy. Lamb. Ooh, Scorpion. And Horse. Bottom of the deck is Camel. He has been saving up a lot of his energy for a long time. That Scorpion is very powerful, potent energy. And I see here, this came up a while ago in a TikTok reading as the Divine Feminine, I believe. I'm getting off of it. I don't know. I feel like you're focused on yourself. Let's see. Is he thinking of Divine Feminine? Huh. Page of Wands. This came up before. The Sage and Nine of Pentacles reversed. There's a feeling here of wanting to come together. It's almost a knowing. That's what this Horse is giving me, this third eye. Nine of Cups and the Three of Wands. Not seeing it happening, not thinking it will happen, not really understanding. Page of Cups and Queen of Swords. Sees you very elevated. You may be older, you may be more mature, you may have a different status in life, some kind of difference between you that he's feeling quite, I don't know, the word coming through is shy. Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, but that's not going to stop him from trying it. I think you're kind of over this burden, this feeling of burden here. See that knowing. We got some of these cards the other day. Oh my God. It's one of my favorite cards of all times. This Ace of Cups. Wow. I was not expecting that. So we have Three of Cups, High Priestess, Nine of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. And we have Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands reversed, Knight of Cups, which is a beautiful card, Five of Wands, and the Devil reversed. He's going to do it right. And look at, I think this is the third time in a row. Page of Cups with the Judgment. I think that Judgment card has come up every single time in the outcome I've used this deck. Seven of Wands and more Wands energy. Look at the eyes, watching. So much Cups here. Cups and Pentacles. And Wands, no Swords. Interesting energies. I did get this deck out. Let's get some cards from here. I can't help but say, you know, he may contact you at night. He may contact you and he's really in his feelings. There may be drinking involved. It could be at a party. Take your mask off. I haven't used this deck in a long time. Wild, I love this. I love it. Oh no, you feel like you're freeing yourself. He sees you as freeing yourself from some burdens. Home. So it is interesting, I will say. Sadness. I asked if he was thinking of you and what he's thinking of you. And what I feel like the answer to this question is, he has let himself start feeling something about you. Because there is sort of a knowing here that what permeates this reading is a knowing that you two will come back together. However, there is an aspect that he fears here, and that's this aspect that I like it better darker. That he will it's better. Okay. I don't know what you were saying. It was just my boxes. That you will, that it's sort of wild when he is in your presence. It's like an uncontrollable energy that kind of freaks him out. And I think that's what this Five of Wands and Devil is. He's been holding back a long time. And there is a reason why he's been holding back. First of all, he didn't have his stuff together, but intuitively it wasn't right. And I think he was in a process or a period of healing. So we have the Fox again. That Fox card just keeps coming out, or the Fox keeps coming out. So he was in a period of, you know, the Three of Cups with the High Priestess is such an interesting energy. I think intuitively he knew that he had to get some stuff sorted out. And, you know, I find this interesting, this Eight of Pentacles reversed to the Seven of Pentacles with the Five of Wands kind of joined together with the Wild card. And she's holding, oh no, wait. On the front of her boat is like a dragon, kind of a mask, right? It's like you bring out this depth in him that he really didn't understand in a lot of ways. And I see that highlighted by both this moon and then the whale here, which of course is like, can go to the depths of the ocean, right? Acceptance. And look at the butterflies again. Resistance. Release. Butterflies again. Boundaries. And all the same cards we got before. And look at that card, the focus with the butterfly on the forehead and the moon. Trust, power, and resilience. Okay, Spirit. So, and she's in the water, right? What is it here that you want me to see with him? I mean, he knows that you really can see the real him, And he knows, like, it's different with you, right? This electric touch here. I think maybe he's been traditionally, like, Three of Cups is like a party card, but it's also, you know, to have it with the dolphins on it. Dolphins are such a advanced animal. I mean, it's very interesting. They have echolocation, they use sonar, they have basically telepathy between them, is my opinion. And I think it's like wherever he went, even if he sought groups of people, I get this very charming energy here. Like he learned to charm people, but behind it all was this always ready to sting. But, you know, under the facade, there was part of him that was very hidden and very on guard. And I get the feeling that the butterflies are, first of all, they're saying, like, you give him a lot of butterflies, but it's also, it was like head and heart, resistance versus acceptance and relief. And the reason that the acceptance is back here is that he had to kind of go back in his past and accept some things about his past that I think you helped him see a lot of it, you know, again, in the water, looking at the reflection, holding hands with the twin, with the moon, and it was around, like, looking at the home environment. When you're, let's say you were raised by someone, like, with scorpionic tendencies, right? You're going to develop those tendencies even if you're a dolphin. I know this is a weird metaphor. It's like you're a dolphin and you came into this life with dolphin gifts, and you like to live in the water but you breathe air, and you'll get raised by a scorpion that lives in a cave and that is always, like, whose body is completely designed to kill, sting, hurt, maim, protect, because it sees everything that comes at it as something that's trying to hurt it. This actually answers a lot of questions. So you put on a scorpion mask, right? Because you want to fit in and you think that's the way of the world. It's crazy how they give me this stuff, you guys, because I always get it in the morning, but I don't really understand it until I do the reading. And then they give me these analogies, and it's so deep. So you've been operating under, or he's been operating under, this idea that everything in the world is out to get you. And so he's been creating his dolphin world as under the Scorpio lens, right? Take it as you will. Make them different animals if you want. But the gifts of the dolphin are not the gifts of the scorpion. And I think he had to go all the way back to look at that, to release it and let it go and transform it into this butterfly. And how he judged you in a particular way, what he brought to you in a particular way was that trigger of, I need to protect myself from this. This is very dangerous. This is scary. This feels very like out of control for me. I need to control it. Because that's, you know, how people feel inside sometimes. They feel out of control. They feel at war with themselves in a lot of ways. And I think that's what has allowed him to get on this devil energy, to get a hold on it and to access, like, I think it was, for me, devil energy has become synonymous with fear. And it makes sense with the scorpion that they're doing some construction out there, like right outside my window. Is that in order to overcome a lot of that fear of, like, to carry on with this metaphor of being in the deep water, of having access to this heart field, which is your emotions, right? We're bringing up a really interesting point about the earth, but I'll get back to it. Look, I can't make it up. It's got the whale and the dolphin and you two on it. They're like, draw the card. I'm like, all right. That's crazy right there. These are two different decks. He saw in your reflection, in your healing, or he felt this amazing capacity. I'm gonna cry now. Whew. So deep. This energy is so deep. It's like heart opening energy right here. I haven't felt for a while. Okay. You felt this safety in your energy that was so profound. I couldn't really feel it with all the mask all the way on, but when the mask came off, it's been a very huge revelation to understand who he actually is. So interesting, because I was going to talk about this bubble here, and I didn't. And then I see it now again in this. This is boundaries and birthing a new age. And I feel like you've been very, very protected and sequestered. And also, in a strange way, in a kind of scorpionic energy. I don't know why, because Queen of Swords is not a scorpion, but there is kind of a defensive posture here of kind of looks like butterflies, like leaving this little trail here, but there's also a white rose. And I get the feeling of it being like a white flag of surrender and love in a way, like the Great Gathering. I think your next kind of step here is, yeah, this right here. These are beautiful cards. Okay. So you have been in a little bit of a defensive, energetic posture. I don't think it's like, it does feel like a boundary to a degree, but not one that you like intentionally, consciously set. It's more of like, I get a very, very strong energy of angels and spirit protecting you in this kind of invisible shield. And I think a lot of you, like the people I've talked to and the readings I've done lately have been a very huge transformative spiritual, like taking a step in that direction, and it's different for everyone. Like I can tell that a lot of you are gifted in certain ways, and your gifts are coming on into your conscious reality more, and that's beautiful. And I think a lot of you, what I'm just gonna say is a lot of you have been in this inner temple here, so you can see it both here and here, and that you were doing a lot of the work that was drawing him forward. And I actually think that this is such a hard topic to talk about, because a lot of the time our most difficult lessons turn into our biggest blessings, and we have to go very, very far into the darkness to see that very bright light. And I feel like you have been, and you can see here again that this is kind of in the temple, but I would say almost going down underneath it, and then there's another sphere here of protection. I would say this would be like underneath it in a cave or something, where you had to excavate a ton of. They're bringing back the lamb imagery, where it's like, I don't know a lot about Christianity, but it's like the blueprint of innocence, the Christ consciousness, they're calling it like a 0 point of just love, right? It's like, you may have in a lot of ways felt very attacked, hence this warrior. And it says, if you weren't afraid, what would you do? And I think, and there's the rose, and here's the rose again, and it says, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. And I think that's what you had to understand. So he's seeing you in a sort of defensive posture at the moment, but he's also feeling a very, very, this is like my most strong telepathic communication card that I have. Call in your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. And I want to say that in many ways, you have been, he feels even more connected to you now than he ever has, even if there's been a great separation. And I didn't even see that I pulled the dance card, but do something to shift your vibration. So dance has been coming up a lot in a very interesting way, that it is very profound to be in a body. And they're saying, like, as you go to the 0 point, as you have to go all the way to the 0 point. And the 0 point is like the void, or like, I don't want to freak anybody out. I don't want to use that spirit. It's like a rebirth into a completely new reality where you see everything completely differently. So lately they've really been bringing through this imagery for me of like, why babies kind of come in already with a personality, and how you carry your chakra energy with you from lifetime to lifetime. And we all have these proclivities, these beliefs, and these certain kind of memories or fears of things that we can't really explain. They're different for everyone, but they're saying that this is why. It's this chakra energy. Look at remembrance. This is the energy that follows through. And so when a lot of people, so they don't want me to say like psychedelics do a rebirth, because it's not really what it is. That's not what it is. And you never really fully have a rebirth. It's kind of like this moment where you it's all about light here. Divine Feminine. It's like, okay, your soul energy, so he's seeing you shine very brightly. And this is something to him that is like a key to his awakening. And you're like, you may feel like you aren't that shiny and you aren't that bright right now. And you have been going through some stuff, and you've really like, you may feel all sorts of different ways. Some of you may feel shiny and bright, but it really isn't about how you look at all, or how you're appearing to other people. This is about your energy. And sort of like when you say you go through a dark night of the soul and you awaken, you see yourself completely differently. And you had to go all of the way into the darkness, to the void, to see that you're not what you had perceived yourself to be before. Now they're saying we're mostly beyond the dark night of the soul here. So, because this is more advanced. And this is not like a hierarchical thing or anybody's better than anybody at all. It's just different. It's like, there is a time when you become so empowered and so trusting of your divinity that you stop questioning what happens, and you understand that it's just is the will of God, or however you see it. It's just the will. And the more you cling to fear, the more kind of you're just fighting yourself. They're kind of bringing it back to the devil here, but he's seeing you in face whatever you need to face, and be so very beautiful as you do it. I mean, it's amazing. It's like your heart overshadows everything else, or it illuminates so bright. It's illuminating so brightly that it's not. We can't even really see anything else. So he is definitely seeing you as his soulmate, as his person. This is this card here for me where I feel very strongly like there's past life feeling. I mean, if I was talking about a divine feminine with this reading, I would say that she had energetic work or help, but sees his help from above. I think this has just happened for him. And that's how it happens for them. They just move into the direction where you're moving. So he has accepted and moved past some things from his younger days, from his life, and understood, I think, what they meant and why they caused him to do certain things. And he's seeing you as very valuable. In fact, it's putting within him a desire to move in your direction. So I know this is the Nine of Cups, but it feels in a lot of ways like the Nine of Pentacles for some reason. Let's get some more cards here. Is that you've come into this period of just being very content with who you are and how you are, and that you seem to appear to be a person that can kind of make their dreams come true. So finally we have Swords. Kind of felt like the Empress was going to come up, but it's High Priestess and Queen of Cups. Look, Nine of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Eight of Cups, reversed. Nine of Cups again, Three of Cups again. And we have the King of Wands. Knight of Swords, Seven of Wands, Nine of Wands, Ace of Wands, Judgment again, and Eight of Pentacles upright again. So you're inspiring him to take action in his life, to master himself. I think he had to go on a pretty big spiritual journey here that he's returning from. And we got the card of home. We have again the Four of Wands and this beautiful Six of Swords reversed, where he's coming back here to you. He sees you as this like Empress in the making, this mystical, emotional, very beautiful, and we have Knight of Cups twice. On the first reading, it was in the internal. Here it's in the external. And so he's considering how, first of all, he feels quite bound up in his thoughts, confused about how to move towards you, confused about your situation, confused about how to make this stable. He's considering many possibilities about how to move towards you. And what it looks like he's coming up with is he wants to talk about the events in the past. Why did the events of the past happen? He may even blame it on partying, alcohol, and bad influences. I see that here. He could blame it on confusion. I didn't really know what I wanted. You know, Three of Cups, Seven of Cups, there's a lot of leeway in there for me. I think there's a story here about I figured out how I felt when I thought about what happened. And it really doesn't sit well with me, you know, to have acted the way I acted. It doesn't sit well with me emotionally to have done that to you. And I see here you are emotionally withdrawing from me. Like, he feels your energy to be withdrawing. You know, this is a Queen of Cups card where she doesn't have her feet in the water, and she is hiding a lot behind her throne. You know, her throne is kind of made of malachite here, or some green stone, where she's done a tremendous amount of work on her heart chakra, and that's apparent. We know that. We can tell that there's an ibis on the back of her chair. She is, you know, very wise emotionally now. And the High Priestess in this deck has this, wait a second, oh yes, it's a 2 in this deck. Huh, okay. She has her foot out on this purple pillow, right? And there's a lot of symbology in this card. But, you know, there's a lot of knowing here. So that's what I see here. I see him looking at you, watching you, wanting to come talk to you about what it seems to be is peace, to make peace. And not only peace, but it's like he desires your blessing. He's aware. Look at that. That's crazy. He's aware that you're powerful. He's watched, he knows, he's knowing. Look at butterfly again on the bottom of the deck. Butterfly, Ascension, camera, golden mirror, girl talk. So he's very aware that you're super powerful. And it's this power, it's like this innocent power. It's like the heart, the Christ consciousness power, right? Like, we have bad feelings about this word power. But that's not what I'm talking about. The power, it lies in the light of your heart, right? We're bringing up Mother Teresa again. I used to talk about her all of the time when I first started reading on this journey, because unconditional love is so closely it's right above sainthood. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm bringing this up. Okay. Unconditional love is right above sainthood on the emotional scale. It's at like 520 and sainthood's at like 510 or something like that. And I would always laugh. Oh, that's all we have to do. Divine feminines only need to attain sainthood in this lifetime, right? I found it so funny because people speak of it so casually on social media. People speak of enlightenment so casually. Nobody on social media is enlightened. I used to say this all the time, and people will get very angry at me. If you are even getting close to unconditional love, the world, I can't even describe it. I'm not there, and I don't know, but I have learned, and what I intuit from, you know, Dr. Hawkins' teachings is like the world would basically be trying to get to you all the time. Like, it's so magnetic, it's so powerful, it's so unbelievably high vibrational that there really isn't any way for me to describe it. It's just total surrender and total love and reverence for life. And I always talk about how on the journey we try to get above doubt, right? Because in doubt, we're always like trying to figure out, well, how does he feel? How do I feel? Well, people think this is crazy, all this back and forth. This is real, this isn't real, this is, right? And so when you get at the top of the 400 range, there's a part of you that in order to cross over into the 500 range, and you know, that's just very scientific. It's not like linear like that. Healing isn't linear, step by step. Anyone that tells you it is does not know what they're talking about, because there's so many layers of you and there's so many parts of you. It's not like there's one part, and yet there is always a singularity, right? So we are just a walking paradox in a lot of ways. I don't know, they're having me go very far into this, but if you believed that everything you felt and did and said and thought was the complete correct thing, right? Matt Kahn said this. That is when your intuition opens up. Why is that? So I'm bringing the next layer of my understanding to this, his quote, right? I shared this on Instagram a while ago. That you have to get out of doubt and you have to get into trust. And the trust is kind of the very first degree of love. And I hope that makes sense. It's like everything I feel and believe and say and do is the correct thing. And I don't need to doubt that spirit is moving through me and I am one with spirit, and that you kind of unlock the kind of hold that your mind has over your subconscious. And it's no coincidence that I was listening to Dr. Hugh Len talk about Ho'oponopono yesterday, because that's one way you can really, he calls it cleaning. That implies sort of that there's something dirty, but he calls it cleaning, where you use the Ho'oponopono prayer because everything that you can transmute is within you, right? You can't change anybody else. And so you use the Ho'oponopono prayer, I love you, thank you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, over and over, while you're holding that any kind of doubt or indecision or whatever it is, any kind of lower vibration, any fear, you hold it. And it could be that you're holding other people's that have doubt, indecision, fear, illness, addiction, sickness, any belief that's creating an energetic vibration that's less than the perfection that we are, right? And you just repeat it over and over and over again. And this is also one of the ways that like robotically affirming things will work. I think that they work really nicely together. That's just me. Okay, So he wants to match you, to meet you, to vibrationally click with you. He wants to show up as the dragonfly, which is my divine masculine symbol, and meet, converse, savor the moment, and feel uplifted and feel this friendship, this rekindling. They're talking about kindling for a reason, like this connection that has been lost underground, hidden. He wants to feel this again. So this says, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, perfect. And it again highlights this concept of the one. There's a big emphasis on the number 1 right now. Why? I'm not sure. It may mean something to you. You may see it like a lot of 1111s or 111 or whatever. It may be a date. It may be something for you as a symbol. But you see how we move from many options to the one. He's been moving through many options, decision, unconventional, string along, one night stand. And again, that the number 1 is here. To welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, perfect. And I think, trigger warning here about the karmic, I think for a while he thought the karmic was the one. And he may have thought there were other ones too. There may have been more than one karmic. But they never were the one. And even in the coffee cup, they're bringing me to this round and round, round and round. He's been going round and round with his dates, with these situationships, with trying to run away from what is and then being drawn back. Ouch. Immediately. Need time, takes time. In time, cycles, time to heal, progress. And you see how that is sandwiched in between 2 karmic cards. So there's been a lot of going round and round with the karmic and trying to understand why. And even here, it's this constant motion of, I want love. Why can't I have love? How can I get love? Who do I need to be to get the love that I'm seeking? And then understanding the problem I talked about in the beginning, the scorpion problem. Okay, so let's look at what's here. I see the bottom of the deck. A win-win outcome is forecast. Answers you need are coming. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. So we are right there. This is the cycle we're in right now. Meditate and contemplate. Emotions are running high. Yes, we're in Cancer. You are good enough. Look at that. Hard work is paying off. Capricorn. Commitment is key. Gemini. Conclusions are within reach. Work through your fears. Scorpio. This may have been a cycle. This healing cycle may have started last November and is now coming back around. A time for healing. Take time to breathe out. It's time to take action. Believe in the impossible. You're very close to achieving your goal. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope this has helped you. This was a very deep, insightful, and beautiful reading. Thank you, Spirit. I haven't felt such tenderness with the masculine's heart and desire to share with you in a long time. So reflect on how you feel now, and if there's communication, I would love to hear about it. If you feel like there's a lot of telepathic communication, I would love to hear about that too. If you're feeling like there is movement or there's been change, I would love to hear about that, because I do see that things are shifting. So bye for now.